Hey, today we were talking about how to start an LLC in Oklahoma. My name is Eric, and in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can go about doing this. One is through your state website, another is using free online legal tools, and the third is if you need to consult with an attorney, how you can go about doing that, but more importantly, also getting a free consult for 15 minutes before you start the meter with that attorney. So before I get to all of that, there are 3 terms that I want to make you aware of that sometimes people aren't familiar with when they're researching LLCs. And those terms are things such as piercing the corporate veil, registered agents, and commingling funds. Now, these 3 terms are important as far as if there are cracks in your LLC. I'm going to get to that throughout the video, so make sure you watch all of this so that you make sure that you have a legit LLC and it's doing what it needs to do for you. So to get started, if you go to Google and you search Oklahoma LLC, the first listing that pops up here is the Oklahoma state website, but it's actually kind of misleading because if you click this, what it's going to do is it's going to take you right to a form, which for a lot of people, you prefer to file online electronically rather than fill out a form and go this route. But before I show you how to do this online through the state website, I wanted to highlight just this one piece right here. It's talking about a filing fee of $100 that's paid to the Secretary of State. When you're getting set up with your LLC, there's no way around this fee. If you go through an attorney, if you go through the state website, a free online legal tool, it's going to be about $100 to $104 for that fee, depending on credit card processing fees. You will have to pay that fee. But that's actually not too bad. Some states get up into the mid $400 range. So this is about middle of the road, if not actually kind of one of the cheaper states for getting set up with an LLC. Now, if you want to actually file electronically through the state website, you would get set up through the URL right here. And this is a good time to mention that all of the resources that I'm mentioning in this video will be in the description below. So if you need to get to any of those, they'll be easy for you to click through on. If any of them are affiliate links, I will mark them as a paid link, and I appreciate you using those links as it helps to support my YouTube channel. So if you're on this page now on the ok.gov website, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go down to File Business Documents Electronically. So I'll tell you right up front, this is one of the uglier state websites, and I'll kind of get into that for you in a minute here. But if you scroll down, what we're looking for is Domestic Limited Liability Company. So what it's going to do is it's going to ask you to log in. I've already done that. But as you can see, this is not the cleanest and easiest thing to go through. What you need to do is click on Limited Liability Company. It's kind of going off the screen here. And basically, sometimes state websites are a little bit dated. If you were to go the form route, there is something I want to highlight on the form as well, because you can do this and just mail it in if you want to do the snail mail route. One of the things about state websites is they don't do the best job of holding your hand. And sometimes like people kind of gloss over details because they're not sure what they mean. I'm going to give you a really good example of that. So if you're filling out these articles of organization, which is how you get set up with a limited liability company, you'll see that in section 4, it talks about the name and street address of the registered agent. Now, if you recall at the beginning, I said I would explain what a registered agent is, which is a crucial part to your LLC. But to better understand what a registered agent is, I want to explain exactly what an LLC is and what it is not, because sometimes people have confusion over this. Some people believe that you can set up an LLC to save on taxes. That is not why you set it up. You're simply trying to limit your liability. So the purpose of an LLC can be explained like this. Let's say on the left side of the screen here that you have your business assets. That could be your office, your furniture, anything that's in your business, things that you own. Then on the right-hand side of the screen is your personal assets. So these are things like your personal home, personal bank accounts, personal cars. Now, what an LLC does is it draws a division between your business and personal assets. That division is called the corporate veil. So you probably recall that we talked about piercing the corporate veil. What that means basically is in the unfortunate case that you were sued, an attorney is going to come after your business assets, but they're going to try to pierce the corporate veil so they can come after assets in your personal asset class as well. Piercing the corporate veil basically means finding a crack in your LLC, some way that it wasn't set up correctly, some issue that you have with your LLC, so that they can not only come after your business assets, but your personal assets as well. One of the ways they can do this is to see if you have a proper registered agent on file, or if you're not getting that proper communication from that registered agent and you're not doing the things that you're supposed to be doing as a business owner who owns an LLC. So why don't we take a look at what a registered agent exactly does. This is a nice article on a site called InkFile, which I'll get to in a little bit. It's a free online legal tool for setting up LLCs. But if we scroll down here, it's got a quick 5 bullet point list of what a registered agent does. Basically, the registered agent is a third party, and they'll take in official letters and correspondence from your Secretary of State. They also do service of process notices. So basically, if you're sued, making sure that you're getting the documents and appearing in court. Number 3 here is official federal government correspondence information and notifications. 4 is tax forms and requests for payments. And 5 is requests to complete permits, company filings, or reports. So basically, that registered agent is making sure you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's and staying compliant with your LLC so there are no cracks in your LLC. And again, that's really important, because if there's a crack, that attorney suing you is going to try to find it, and they're going to try to pierce the corporate veil so that they can come after your personal assets as well. So that's kind of one of the issues that I have with these forms that they set up. They just kind of say like, oh, you're a registered agent, they need to be in the state of Oklahoma, blah, 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 who is it? And it doesn't really explain like what a registered agent is, how it impacts your business, and all the things that you should be aware of with it. So a lot of times I'll recommend this InkFile service, and part of the reason is they've obviously set up 500,000 businesses, but if you scroll down, you can see that you can start for as little as $0 plus state fee. So if you're like me, you're like kind of wondering, how do they do that? They need to make a profit. I'm going to explain that. I'm going to bring it back to registered agents. So if you click launch my business, I'm going to start over here. So I have selected LLC in Oklahoma. I'm not sure if I mentioned it already, about 80% of all new entities set up are LLCs, so you're in good company there. And here's where you'll see 3 different packages. The first package has a $0 package fee, and it's $104 for the state fee. That $4 is for processing fees. 100% of that is going to your Secretary of State. But down here, you can see that they prepare and file the articles of organization. So that is this article right here. They're going to do this for you and help you fill that out. Then unlimited name searches. This is important, and you can do this through the state website. But basically, when you're setting up your LLC, you want to make sure that it is a unique name for the business that you're setting up. Like, obviously there's going to be a lot of businesses that use the word Sooners in it if you're in Oklahoma. So you want to make sure that you can actually own that name for your specific business category, and this service will help you figure that out. But this one right here, I wanted to highlight: free registered agent service for a year. So if we go back to the what is a registered agent article right here, and we scroll down, one of the things you'll find is, this is helpful right here. It's saying it's $0 for business formation and it's free for a year. But what's going to happen is year 2, 3, 4, 5, you're going to have a $119 annual fee for that registered agent service. Now, I believe that that is money well spent, because again, this person is going to make sure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's so that no one can pierce the corporate veil and come after your personal assets in addition to your business assets. So really important that you have a good registered agent on file. And this is one of the ways that InkFile will make money even in the lowest package, because year 2, that'll be $119. You're not locked into using InkFile for that registered agent service. You can always switch, but the nice thing is it is free for the first year. Now, if you do want to upgrade, there's a couple things I want to highlight over here. So if you go to the gold package, there's going to be a $149 package fee, but there's a couple of reasons why I might recommend this. One is the EIN business tax number. Now, when I set up my own business and went through all of the hassle of figuring all this stuff out, and I should let you know, like, I'm not a CPA or an attorney. I'm just somebody who's done a ton of research in this space, and I'm just trying to give you as much information as I can so you can make the best decision for yourself. But I had to set up my own EIN business tax number. And the way you go about doing that is on this page here. And again, links are in the description below if you need to check this out. And this is the irs.gov page here, and it's going to walk you through if you need one, how do I apply for one, and then applying for your EIN online was kind of a pain in the butt to do myself. I ended up getting it, but it was just kind of frustrating just because you don't know what you're doing sometimes in these areas. So that's something for you to consider if you want to set that up. Now, the other thing that I want to talk about here too, though, is the business banking account. Okay, this is really important. As you recall at the beginning of the video, we had talked about commingling funds. So basically what that means, and you'll probably see where this is going, is if you start your business and you have a personal bank account and you start to commingle funds in that bank account, meaning you have your personal incomes and expenses coming through that account, and then you have your business income and expenses coming through that account, you are commingling funds. Again, this is creating a crack in your LLC, and you see where all this is going. And then that's going to make it so an attorney can pierce the corporate veil and come after your personal assets. So very important that you separate your business and personal banking. Now, the other reason you'd want to do this is when it comes to tax time, if you have a business bank account set up from day one, it makes it a lot easier to just kind of, be able to plug into a third-party app or hand off your statements to your accountant and be able to do your accounting. So there's kind of two reasons you really want to do it. One, so make sure you're being compliant, there's no cracks in your LLC. And the second reason is it just makes accounting easier. As of making this video, they're hooked up with Bank of America is who they run that through. You don't have to use them, but if you're kind of looking for a done-for-you service, they can get you set up through here. And if you're kind of looking for expedited services or even setting up your domain name and business email, you can go with the Platinum package as well and go this route. Now, quickly, I'm just going to show you the first step here, and you can see the difference between this site and the state website at Oklahoma. It's very much a cleaner experience, and this is where you'll see it itemized out: $149 for your gold package, $104 for the state filing fee. The one thing though I want to highlight on here is the tax savings benefit. So this is a fully deductible business expense. So no matter which route you go, you want to make sure that you're keeping track of these receipts because you're going to be able to deduct this at tax time. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is why you should hire an attorney if you're looking at your situation. A good reason to speak with an attorney is maybe you already have a profitable business that's doing sales in and out of state and you're not sure how to handle that. Or perhaps you're opening a business that tends to carry more liability. Now, not every business is the same as far as your threat of liability. If you had a company and you're selling lemonade on the side of the road, not quite that high liability. If you owned a roofing company and you're worried about people falling off a roof through a skylight, that is a lot of liability. So you want to consider how much liability your business model will carry and how complex your business model is. And perhaps you're already doing well and making a lot of income. You may want to consider if you're making income in and out of state. One of the downsides of going with an attorney, it can cost you about $800 to $3,000 to get it set up, but I'm going to show you a way that you can at least get a 15-minute consult for free. This service right here is called Avo. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I just like the service. It's a lawyer directory lookup, and you can see that we're looking at Oklahoma Limited Liability LLC lawyers, and we have 29 attorneys and 10 reviews. Now, the cool thing about this service is if you scroll down just a little bit, and I'll include this link in the description of the video as well, you can see if you click free consultation that we are now down to 5 attorneys. So here you can take a quick look at these 5 attorneys and they have some reviews, and these are all attorneys in Oklahoma that can help you with your LLC questions, and they offer a free 15-minute consult to get you going. So I hope this video was helpful for you, and what I'm going to do in the next video right here is an ink file review, and I go into the weeds a little bit more on ink file, but about the 230 mark I talk about an S-Corp Tax Calculator. So down the road, if you're making $40,000 to $60,000 of net profit in your business, it's really helpful to learn on how you can save on taxes with that calculator. All right guys, I'm going to catch you in this next video, and thank you again for using my links because it helps to support my YouTube channel. I'll catch you in that next video.